Hey everybody, welcome to Jerry's Live. As always, I'm your host, Amy Gardner-Dean, and it is the Jerry's Live Holiday Gift Giving Guide of 2020. 4 years now of gift guides, and this time we tried to break it down into maybe things that you might want to give a friend to maybe Zoom together and do some art together, or give somebody some basic lessons after maybe seeing one of our episodes and something that we did with the kit. Some of these actually are the very specific episodes that we've done. So you'll be able to refer your friend, if you give them a gift, back to that episode to be able to have some free classes with the supplies. And we also tried to keep in mind kind of a bargain price that was something where it may be a medium that you wanted to try, but you don't know if you're going to like it. So it's more of an entry-level price. And then something maybe that, so you've, kind of dabbled with the pastels after our episode and you want to get a little more for yourself to really start getting into it. Stuff like that. So because of that, we're going to look at a lot of different kits. So this is going to go a little bit faster than our normal show. It's okay to rewatch this if there's a lot of eye candy that's going to be moving in and out, and we've made it easier for you to refer back to that, to actually pull up the entire kit with a number, like there, the JL178A. That will be the first kit. I'm going to try to remember to switch that with every kit that we've got. We have Will being it's like your fancy Santa meets Bounty meets, I'm not sure. But Will is going to be kind of passing the supplies in and out for us, so you can wave flow to him. And then at the end, I think if it was something where a number one on my list and I could get art supplies for Christmas, it would be storage this year. Because even with the studio I've got, I still need more things to put things in. So, and I think all of us kind of fall under that category. And even around here with our stock, we need places to effectively store items. So I looked through all of the different kind of storage solutions we have and things that I know artists don't get for themselves that they really should. So we'll look at some storage items that maybe you can just pick one or two things for yourself to help you store your items safely and keep them around longer. So, all right, so let's get going. We are going to start with the Bare Bones Travel Watercolor Kit. This is one that we've done on the show before with, I think, postcards and a bunch of other things. I think even when we did the pen and ink drawings and then watercolor. So it's just an adorable little Jerry's bag, the 5x9 bag. It is the Lucas Aquarel Studio watercolor kit, which, I forget that they put them in plastic. I know. Well, it keeps them nice and clean and tidy. So it's got a little brush. This one has 24 colors. I believe that the one we did in the past had just 12, right? So it's not much more than the 12 set. And then you've got 24 colors. You've got all your warm and cool primaries, great, even warm and cool secondaries, a little brush, mixing. You can put water in the wells, pop cup for water, pops back down when you're not using it. Then the 15 set of the Strathmore watercolor cards. All of that right now, people always ask this, and we just don't know. We're not allowed to know because we're not supposed to tell people what the big deals are for Black Friday. We just don't know. Things may be cheaper in these kits on Black Friday. You can still put in that code, the JL178A. It'll pull up all those items independently into that little kind of SKU code that you put in the search box. It may be cheaper at that date. I don't know. But right now, if you were buying it as of today, everything you need to go do watercolor other than a bottle of water, $38.13. I mean, we all get our friends or relatives something that around that price, $40, $50. And we've done, I don't even know how many classes with these little Lucas kits. So that is JL178A. Oh, put that one there. That's cute, Katie. She has a sign. I feel like I should throw them and there should be like a crashing window sound. All right. Okay, so the next one is the Lucas Watercolor Studio or Travel Set. This has items that you can use either place. I'm going to turn this because there's a whole bunch of things that's on 2 pages. All right. So, a lot of times we deal with Turner watercolor, but we've done some shows where we've used the 1862, and I think we used that big watercolor pan set, didn't we, at one point during the kind of when we were staying home and filming with the Lucas pans, and everybody was so impressed with the 1862 pans. This is a set of 1862 tubes. So these are 10 milliliter tubes, so they're gargantuan.
I didn't even know that set existed.
These are, it's amazing what you, yeah, no, I can find all sorts of crazy stuff.
That's awesome.
Professional watercolors, huge tubes. This will last you for forever. It's got your warm and cool primaries already in it. So you're ready to go. We've talked about that in all of our kind of color theory classes. It has some secondaries. It's got a beautiful Payne's gray. Everything you need to get going for the watercolor. So it's giving you professional watercolors, but you're like, travel, how do I do that with these? Just wait. Giving you some Turner Artist Watercolor masking fluid. This stuff is the best masking fluid I have ever used. And it doesn't smell disgusting, which old school masking fluid always did.
And it removes so easily.
It removes weeks later from, we did that on that one cow for doing some artwork, and I think we had to film it over a long period of time because we had other stuff, and I thought that stuff was never coming off. Came off just fine. Fluid 100, 100% watercolor paper in a really cool little landscape block. You want to use masking fluid on cotton watercolor paper, 100% cotton, because it doesn't always peel up off of either just straight up paper pulp paper, or sometimes some of the blends it has some issues with. So that's why we're pairing this with 100% watercolor, cotton watercolor paper, 15 sheets. Then this is where the travel part comes in. So this is the Turner watercolor box. It's just an adorable little kind of travel suitcase box that just always just makes me happy when you open this. Opens up, has a hinge so it doesn't go past that. We've got a bunch of the Mimic Squirrel watercolor synthetic brush set, the Try Me set. So you've got 5 watercolor brushes there. Then we've got, because you don't want to use these on your masking fluid, because masking fluid gets in a brush, you're never getting it out, you really want to just chuck it. It's got the set of the Creative Mark masking fluid brushes, rounds, 5 nice big flats. So it comes with those. Then the little box itself comes with your travel palette. So you've got a travel palette that comes with it, with the little thumb hole here for holding your watercolors. Has room for all of those tubes where you can put them in. We've talked about how to make your own pans before. Put them in, give it a couple days to let it fully dry. Then that can close up when you're on the road. You don't have to take all those tubes with you. You can put that right in there, fold this down, take that with you, leave your tubes at home. You've got your paper, and you're ready to go. All you need is water, okay? So that set of professional watercolors and all that gear that comes with it is $125.16, which is 12 watercolors that are going to give you unlimited mixing and all that fun stuff besides. So it's easy to use at home. It's easy to use on the road. You are ready to go. See, Katie, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I always forget we have those tube sets because I like to use pans.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, tubes, look at that.
I love their little pan set so much.
I know, right? All right. So the Bare Bones Pastel Kit. This is something we have used for numerous classes, but then I was really excited to learn that we used a 32 set. There's a 64 set now, which gives you, obviously, double the colors, right? So I'm going to try to open this without shooting it all over the floor like I did the other day because I was so excited. I was like, it's got 64 colors that are now on the floor. All right. So look at that. Oh, sign. Yes. Thank you. Oh, that would have been bad. So that other one with the watercolor, that was the JL178B. That was that Lucas set with that beautiful little box. Okay, so this one is JL178C. Look at those colors. And it's got a really long white and a really long black that are like a harder press stick for doing your underdrawing. How about that? They didn't have that in the small one. I get really excited about this. Well, it's
so pretty.
And it's so inexpensive, right? We did those really bright, awesome pastel work with these, so this stuff is great. So that's got your 64 half sticks of color. It's got your kneaded eraser in a box, so it's not gross and doesn't stick in your pocket. It's got the Creative Mark blending and charcoal pastel complete blending kit with the thing to sharpen your stomps and everything and the little kind of applicators. And it's got our favorite Fabriano pochette of the extra colors, right? So this gives you the ability to do 12 artworks with all these colors and all these items for $19.69. It's less than $20 right now with none of those items on sale. So that is a perfect gift. And we've done now, what, 3 pastel classes, I think? One when we were doing, when I was filming from home, and then we've done 2 other ones since. So lots, huh?
I want to say there's more than that.
No, I think there's 3. But we didn't have this bigger set. So, but for $20 you got 3 free classes and all this cool stuff. So that was JL178C. And look, Katie, you don't even have to show me, and I'm changing it. Don't let it go to your head. I'll forget again, I'm sure. All right. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
All right. So now we've got the Basic Studio Pastel set. You've maybe given that class a try with us, or you've got a few supplies here and there at home, and you want to kind of bump it up to that next level. So this is what this kit has that's going to kind of help you start from square one and then kind of move forward into really getting into pastels from there. So we've got some of the Creative Mark Petite Transitions brushes. There we go. Now we can see it without the shine. You've got all sorts of, from very soft brushes to an applicator to some angled kind of heads to be able to kind of move that pastel around, maybe even put down some of the pigment first and wet it and kind of move it into the paper. Got that. It has that complete charcoal and pastel set that we had in the other kit. Now this is where we're getting into kind of, instead of just, those are a kind of soft pastel half stick that's not like super soft. This is giving you some semi-hard pastels, 48 of them. What you're going to use these for is covering maybe some background color, using them for harder edges, like where you want to define your work with a little harder outline, maybe some harder shadow, maybe like a highlight in an eye or something that's really hard to get with those larger soft pastel sticks. It's got corners because it's a compressed, you know, square of a color, so it gives you kind of that drawing ability, and then the softer pastels for that painting ability. So it's got 48 of those. I always want to put these in this because I know what happens when pastels go boom. What? Yeah, that's a lot. I don't want to do that with this. All right, so this is the Mungio Gallery Soft Pastel set of 60 in a cardboard box. And what that's doing is saving you a lot of money over like the wood boxes. You're getting 60 full colors but you're not getting that price of that wood box. So you've got, that's one of your 2 sets. And then there's the one underneath. Okay, it's got a little kind of cutout here that you pull the box up. So that's giving you lots and lots of color to play with in that softer pastel. All right. And those are all by Mungio. It's the semi-hard, then the soft, and the round pastels. Then, to kind of expand on the paper, and the Fabriano is a perfect professional paper. That assorted set has some brighter colors and more earth tones. This is the Canson's My Teens pastel paper, which is just like the Tiziano, same cotton content. This one has some just assorted colors. I think you get 3 sheets of each. So you've got some grays, blues, earth tones, whites, in a cotton or rag and paper pulp paper that's got like a more texture on one side, a less texture on the other. And then we're jumping into some sanded paper, because that's something a lot of people haven't used that really grabs that many more layers of those soft pastels, especially if you really like to use those soft ones. And I did a 400 grade, just like sandpaper for doing woodworking. The higher the number, the less grit, the lower the number, you know, the lower the number. Like a 400 is right kind of in that middle range, if you were going 100 to 80. So that's a good grit that gives lots of grip, lots of layers without being like too much in your scuffing your knuckles. Okay, so that one is JL17D, and that whole kit, $149.10. So for 150 bucks, you're getting tons of paper. I mean, this is 10 sheets, this is 24, so you got 34 sheets to use. You're getting all the blending stuff. You're getting hard and like semi-hard and soft pastels.
It's a lot of pastels.
It's a lot of pastels. And although these kits are, you know, the boxes, they're cardboard boxes, you're saving a lot of money by not getting those big wood boxes. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck where you can invest in the paper and the other items that come with it, right? Okay. Thank you. All right. So that's kind of your pastels and watercolors. Sign, yes. Thank you. See, I told you that would be the one time she'd probably tell me. All right, so this is JL178E, and this just kind of not very exciting box houses an entire acrylic pouring kit. So this gives you everything you need to do pouring. There is Liquitex Professional Pouring Medium, a big bottle, so that's going to go a good ways. You've got palette knives for mixing your pouring medium and your acrylics. It has 6 75 milliliter tubes of Lucas Studio acrylic, so you've got all your primary colors and then with white, black, and burnt umber. It's got some little flow line bottles, so you can actually put that in with the medium and work on top of things, or kind of put little colored lines in there. Do all sorts of experimenting. You don't have to pour everything all at once. You can do pouring, then do another one on top, and another one on top. So this is giving you the ability to kind of add some other things with a little bit more control. Flow line expressions bottles. You can cut the tips thick, thin, or like super fat. So you could add color that way. Well, I mean, this is easier than pipettes, right? A pipette only gives you so much, and once you've put it in there, it's gross, and then you've got to clean it all off and try to... This is a good way to have a whole lot of volume to be able to kind of push the nozzle down in there and add without that cleanup in between where stuff is setting up. Double take cups. So it's got a bunch of ways you can do your color mixing ahead of time. You can even seal these and use them later.
I love those things.
These are great for everything.
I use them for everything.
They are, yeah, they're fun stuff. And then gives you 3 big Da Vinci panels to work on, the fluid media panels with that lip to them, okay? So, I mean, you can use all sorts of other things. You can use, you know, canvas panels, you can use cardboard, you can use stretched canvas, you can use all sorts of stuff, but this gives you the ability to make 3 really large artworks right off the bat. I'm guessing those are 12 by 12. So all that, complete pouring, ready to go, just starting out. You don't have to buy anything. It's $125.39. And I'm never going to fit these back in, Will. I'm sorry. To actually probably close this up. I'm going to try. So that was JL178. Told you. Trade.
Nice. Thank you.
Alright, sign. Alright. This is JL178F. We have used this on the show before, I think. This is a complete acrylic studio in a box. And also, I think this is one of the ones they did this set, and then they're closing them out so you get it at a redonkulously crazy price. Doesn't mean that it wasn't good. It's just they're not making them like this inexpensive anymore, which is the way to get in on this. Because this gives you the cute little box and the indestructible packaging. Well, they use brass hardware on this, so it's like actually catches in the box. All right, I'm just gonna put this in there. All right, so this has the little easel box. I can't remember which way is up. This is the bottom because it's got feet on it. So that opens up. It has these little holes to put your little lip on, to put your panels on, so that you can then adjust this with the little wing nuts to an angle perfect for painting. Has a really nice palette knife. It's got 3 hog bristle brushes. Then it has all these acrylic paints that, of course, I, in trying to unwrap it, knocked everywhere. That's okay. So it has 12 colors of the Lucas Curl Studio. Lots of color there. Palette. All you really need is water and maybe a spray bottle to mist this while you're working. It even has directions that are very clear. Typical efficient Germans, right? So all that packs down into that. There are 3 panels. 3 canvas textured panels. So you have the ability, with opening this up, other than water, to be able to do 3 artworks right from the start. $47.99. With the easel, I know, with an easel box that you can keep and use, you know, with other paints. Once these are gone, as you replace them with, you know, larger tubes, whatever, it's crazy inexpensive. Yeah. This is like a kid's starter cheap set, right? With junk paint, with it being a Lucas professional paint. So, that's what I'm saying. Stick with me, kids. I'm a cheapo. I can find any bargain. And it's even got feet, like non-slip feet on it, so that it doesn't slide around your table when you're using it. So, all right. So, maybe you already paint acrylics, and maybe you're using Lucas, or maybe you're using other brands that are out there, and it's time to give yourself a little present and upgrade. So this is what I refer to as the upgrade set. So JL178G. We have an Aquamist bottle because we love the Aquamist. That with only 1 or 2 pumps, you get that continuous mist. Puts lots of water in. This is perfect for spritzing acrylic because it's not water droplets, right, Katie? It is a mist. So rather than making like that acrylic moat of water around your palette as you're working, this gives just a nice mist. It's perfect for that. Perfect for misting plants. Flyaway hair. Don't ask me how I know that. So that's included because that is always an upgrade over just a little spray bottle. Then it's the paintbrushes that Amy loves.
Which one?
The Berlin ones. It comes in a brush easel here that then you can tighten and have that to use. So these are just like my favorite, besides the fact that they're blue. Don't let that fool you, thinking that that's just all Amy's interested in, although it's very beautiful. Berlin are just the most wonderful synthetic brushes. They paint like, more like what hog bristle is going to, but because they're synthetic, they clean so well. And they've done something, I don't know what, to keep amazing brush retention. And you can tell them, I'm not making this up. I can scrub just the tarnation out of these, right? And not tear the brushes all up. And you don't see the wearing. All my filberts become like a filbert angle with a lot of brands because I will scrub as I work on a textured surface. These don't have that wear and tear and they don't show up right away like so many other synthetic brushes will. So they're fantastic for acrylic. They work really well for water mixable oil because being synthetic, they stay super clean. But this is a great way to try this line and get a nice little brush easel that you can put your other old shabby brushes in to feel very not as good a quality as that Berlin sitting next to it. Just be like, oh, I remember when I used to get used, right? So that's an upgrade. You can try those out. And then you can upgrade to the Charvin acrylic. This is their extra fine salutation set. So lots of big, plump, rich, bright color for the Charvin extra fine acrylics. So try out a premium quality, just luxury acrylic to see how that kind of pairs against maybe your student grade paints that you've had before. It's time to kind of level up and see what a professional paint will do for you. Okay, so that is the acrylic upgrade kit. All those now, before there's a sale, and I would imagine there will be some sales on some of this stuff, is $223.47. So, but I would say check Black Friday because that seems like these type of sets go on sale and you know, brush sets and things. So, but that's definitely worth the upgrade. Oh, now you've done it. You're fired.
Just leave.
Yeah, no, don't do that, please. You don't get to leave. Well, it's okay. You haven't dropped anything like Amy always does, so. I know, right? Okay. Oh.
We haven't gotten to the gold leaf yet.
Signs. Yeah, right? True. Well, that's why we're not doing that with this episode, because Will's helping. All right, so JL178H. This is the amazing beginner drawing set. So we used to have this Cezanne 72 set, and that's what I had in here, but unfortunately they had a crazy sale on them, and they're all gone now. But instead, you can start somebody out with the new professional line that they have of the Cezanne pencils. 120 pencils. I mean, this is, it's got the color legend there with the numbers. The pencils are all numbered. There are 3 layers of color. I'm not going to pull them all out because I will spill those. So this is the perfect set for even somebody that's into coloring. You can't even get pencils just for coloring, 120 of them at the price that this is currently at right now for the introductory price. So you get the 120 set of this. You get our favorite, like hands down. Is this not the studio favorite? Yeah. It's back in stock now. Now, I don't think the big ones are yet, but this one was, Katie, because I was just like, where's my paper? Even when I go teach places, I will take the big sheet and I will give them a couple pieces of that paper because it's just so nice. Works for colored pencils, works for graphite. The Jerry's Colossal Deluxe Sketch just has a wonderful tooth, and it's a nice, beefy 60-pound weight, which for a drawing paper is a, you know, kind of a good higher mid-weight paper. And it's very pretty and white. My favorite, Marie's 4B eraser, because this works the best with wax-based or even oil-based colored pencils. So one of those is in there. The Coom sharpener that has the wider and then the smaller point sizes, because you never know when you've got art pencils. This will cover everything. And then the Raffinay set of 12. So you've got everything from 2H all the way up to 8B. All the pencils that you need to start somebody out. And this set is $66.56 for everything. Not the COVID will, but it is allergies. So. Sorry about that.
We did have a question.
Yes.
Real quick. Are the pencils like those? Are they professional and archival?
They are good, very good light fastness ratings on them. It's a 3.3 millimeter lead, so it's a really wide lead. They're not super waxy like other, like I think Prismacolor creates a lot of wax bloom. This does not have that as high of a wax bloom as you get with Prismacolor. They're very, for this price you can't get colored pencils like this that are professional. I mean, you can't even get student grade pencils for this. So
that's a lot of pencils.
So this, especially if somebody that's starting out or a kid that wants to be like an illustrator. I mean, these are just going to make some. I mean, we did a class with the old ones, and the old ones were fantastic. This is even an upgrade over that. So go back and look at those and see how nice those were, and then this is upgrade. Thank you.
It's heavy.
I know, it's that big block of paper. I'm so excited about that. I remembered. JL178J. That other one was H. This is J. Okay? So this is that was the super amazing beginner's drawing kit, which, I mean, still pretty swanky for somebody that's been around drawing. But this is the well-rounded studio drawing kit. And what does that mean? Well, that means that you're getting everything you need to do any sort of dry and even some wet drawing techniques with this. Because we've done all of them on the show at this point, over 4 years. So these are my personal picks for tools that you can't do without for drawing. If you get the set, this is going to have everything that you need in any dry medium other than colored pencil for drawing, okay? So we've got the Jerry's, and I'm going to slide these back in there when we're done so that it's not falling all over the place well for you. You know we love the Jerry's Jumbo Jet pencils. They're an oil-impregnated charcoal and pigment pencil. So it gives you the 2 earth tones, it gives you the Jumbo Jet black, and the white. What are you going to use these for? You can use them on regular paper, but you can also use them on this. And unfortunately, the Soho ones had not come into stock yet, Katie, because otherwise those would have been really fun. The new blocks and bricks that we've done, but this is all those colors like that in one place. So you've got, this is a Stillman and Burn. It's a hardbound sketchbook, so it lays flat. We've got a craft paper, a black paper, and a gray paper. These will work on those, right? So you've got all those colors to play with. You've got the white to be able to draw on the black. It gives you the ability to do some really nice artworks. And if you saw our, I guess our animal episode that we did some sped up, like an after party, and one of them is a fox with these pencils on a tan paper, on a craft paper. So that's something that can very easily be done on that tan. So Stillman & Burn makes beautiful papers. This is a heavier weight, medium grain surface, so it holds these pencils really well. And it's a mixed media paper. So there you go. That is starting this set out, right? And of course, you do need the Marie's eraser because, again, that will erase the broadest selection of pencils and charcoals and things like that. So, but wait, there's more. my favorite charcoal pencils, which seems just, it's Marie's, but these are amazing. They are paper wrapped charcoal, so it gives this beautiful spring to it. These are the soft because there's extra soft and there's neutral. I like the soft because you can draw lighter for it to be kind of perform more like the neutral. You can really push to be like that extra soft. So there's a dozen of those charcoal pencils in there. And those can be used on those papers as well. Then Faber-Castell is like my graphite pencils, like just, it makes me complete, right? So these have, this kit has everything you need. It's got sanding blocks. It does have a stick eraser. It has the 2-hole pencil sharpener. It has a green eraser. I just find that this doesn't work on all types of paper like the Marie's does, so that's why I've included the Marie's. There's some papers it leaves a weird residue on, so just bear that in mind when you go to use it. Test it somewhere. Blending stomp, a you know, your fun gooey eraser that Amy doesn't like. See, it gives Katie the willies too. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. It's the texture. Kneaded eraser. All right, so aquarelle pencils. We did the water-soluble pencils. This has the 3 different darknesses of their aquarelle pencils. It has a brush to it. Then it's got a bunch, 7 of their traditional pencils from HB up to 8B. It has a 2H. Then they've got, and I love these, they're big fat pencils. They're graphite, but they're like the Jerry's Jumbo Jot. So it's a nice big thick pencil, which they've got the sharpener already in there for it. Then it's got their pet pencils, which are pure graphite. That's just a graphite stick, luckily with a holder, so you don't get all gross and gooey. And then it has the big giant graphite if you're going to be drawing large scale. Okay, and they do put a little bit of a wax coating on it so that it's not picking up, but I can see just a tiny bit of dust on my fingers. So, but it's got those too. So this gives you every type of pencil you need that's graphite and then water soluble in the sandy kit, sanding pad, the whole 9 yards. Then Fabriano mixed media. Look at this freaking sketch pad. This is amazing. Savoir Faire brings it in, our friends, and it's something that we hoped to have in last time. I think not this last time Andrew was here, but before. It is a mixed media. It does dry and wet techniques. It is 108-pound paper. So it is super, super, like, beefy and durable. Oh, it has a very nice, kind of a light cold press texture. And it is just like, you're going to run out of those water-soluble pencils before you're going to run out of this paper. But it's the texture of it would be great for even dry media work, and even the oil pencils or charcoal. It's going to take really nicely. So this is giving you lots of surfaces to draw on. It's giving you lots of types of drawing medium. The price on that for all of that is $110.47.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. All right. Ugh, it's so heavy. That paper is heavy. It's like a crazy big brick. All right. Look, Katie, I'm changing it again. Ding. All right. So, water mixable oils. Everybody talks about starting it. We've shown Berlin on the show. I don't even know how many times. And I didn't want to open this because the box is so pretty. I wanted to leave it in there. So this is like that luxury fancy set that is perfect for gift giving, because it's got everything you need to get started in this beautiful little wood box, including a little baby palette. It's so cute. 3 hog bristle brushes. There are 10 colors in it of Berlin oil, water mixable oils, and it's got the medium number 3 in it as well, which is I'm guessing it's a water mixable medium, but I'm guessing it says, I'm thinking in German, it says it's an accelerator, so it's a quick dry medium, which is hilarious. So medium number 3 comes in there. So that's got everything you need to be the perfect little gift for somebody that wants to get started. All you need is a canvas or panel or something like that, a little table easel, you're ready to go. This is $89.99 for 10 colors. You couldn't buy the colors individually for that, I don't think.
I don't think you could.
And then that's got all those extras in a gift box. So, I mean, this is a really, like, fancy little gift that looks like naughty bee shoes. It looks like you're going to get, I don't know, perfumes or something, like one of those cheap gift sets of Jordache or Jovan or Musk or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a really awesome little water mixable set. So that one, $89.99. It's JL178K. Okay? And at any point, if you're, and we've talked about this at the beginning, but in case you tune in late with us, you can go to the search box at the top of the jerrysartarama.com website. You can type in any of these codes. That's going to bring up the set. It's really easy. You can just add it to the cart, or you can pick and choose, take things off and, you know, put it in the cart and then take things off. If you want, you can add things on to make a full order, but that's a great way to get started to populate the cart with items that you've seen that you like. All right. This had a box, but it was one of those ones, like that other one was kind of hard to get into. Yeah. Way harder. It was like it could okay. Huh?
Suitcase is fun.
Though. Yes. Okay. So this is it looked fancier in the box because it was a big box. The Lucas 1862 oil set.
Oh, she's thinking.
It was like super heavy with all the extra packing and stuff, so I took it out. All right. So handle, right? Nice little handle for this. This is not only just a nice box, this is an easel box, which is really awesome because you can paint right in the box when you go, okay? So this comes with some panels. This comes with a canvas, stretched canvas with keys and everything. Comes with a wood palette. It comes with all these accoutrements. That's what, 12 colors, right? Looks like 12 colors in a giant white. So you got 12, I'm gonna turn it even higher. 12 colors.
You want me to?
Or, yeah, look at, do the overhead. That probably would be nice. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so 12 colors. Giant tube of white, palette cups. It has your brush cleaner here. It's got some bleached linseed oil there. 2 high quality steel palette knives. Comes with a bunch of brushes with it. 3 hog bristle brushes and 2 sable brushes. So, and they're actually, those are really nice brushes. So it's got all the things you need to start right out, other than really maybe a little brush basin cleaner to carry with you. But with this can go back in here. With painting, you can actually put these in here. It's got a lip to hold it. This holds it in, so you can actually paint with your palette over here facing this. Use this out in the field. Put it on a picnic bench. Take it with you on a trip, and you don't need an easel. It's already built into this, and then it'll keep it held in there and dry. All of this for professional oils for 12 colors and that giant white and all the goodies with it. $199.99. So again, like we had the acrylics upgrade, this is like the oils upgrade. If you've not tried professional quality oils, this is a really good time to get in on it as a gift for yourself or for someone you love, and it gets you the box and all the other goodies with it. That was JL178K. L. All right, so now we're to the fun part. Not that these weren't, yeah, not that these weren't fun. But these are things we all need. This is not as a, we're gonna talk about all these items. These all are in this JL178S kind of lineup. So that will pull up all the storage items, because you might find 3 or 4 things that you're like, I need that in my life, and then ta-da, there it is. You can add it to the cart and then just take things out that you don't need. So this is something like with the tins that we've got that were floating around that we looked at. Those tins over time start getting a little like bendy and don't like hold really well, or the plastic trays start breaking or things like that. Or you want to go to classes, you're carrying all this stuff with you, workshops, you drop them a few times, things are going to break. This is where colored pencil easel cases come in handy. You can use them with charcoal pencils. You can use them with, graphite pencils, whatever. You can get them in just like what colored pencil sets come in. 120, the 72, the 24. And it seems like, okay, that's not that big of a thing, but yes it is, because this is what you can do. That is a way to carry a whole lot of stuff, to have much easier instant access to it than those little crappy plastic trays that come in those tins, guys. So, and then not only that, but you can take it. People are always like, they don't understand what these strings are for. You pinch it, you do this, you've got an easy way to access those or turn it around for that other side while you're working. It keeps it up out of your way. It's very easy to access. It's got elastic, so it holds them in tightly, but it's super easy to pull them out to use them. And it's padded. It's got hard sides, but it's padded as well. So when you have to take them places, that just comes down. This closes up, and this one will actually carry, it says 72, it will carry more. So it's got extra loops for your extra whites and blacks. It's got padding. If I'm dropping that, and Will's like, it's going to keep these from breaking inside, okay? Because it's, I mean, you probably, if you threw them down on concrete really hard repeatedly, you might have that. But this is not going to do what a tin box does. Explode everywhere, right? So these are fantastic for holding pencils, and makes it a lot easier to just slide in a bag. Now the 120 set, let's look at that, because I can't remember how this one is set up, so people know. So see, that's got all of those, so it can open up like that with one stretched out to you, and then the other two like that, or laid flat. But that's a great way of keeping everything you need all together safely. And that's even thinner once it's all said and done than 120 tin is. So, take it from Amy, who can break anything. These are really handy. I'm not even going to put that back in there because I'm going to get it stuck all over everything. So, a great inexpensive investment for any of those pencils that come in those tins. Just can store it on a shelf, store it in a drawer, whatever from there. So that is that. And those start at, let's see, it's under $10 for the 24. It's just under 15 for the 72, and it's $21.49 for the giant 121. So some very inexpensive protection. Let's see. Let's do the Jerry's mesh bags next, if you don't mind. So you guys saw the mesh bags at the beginning that we have that little watercolor set, and these work great for everything from makeup to, I mean, you can put loose pastels in them. You can put pan sets. You can put anything. Loose pens, pencils,
I put my shampoo in it when I throw them.
That's, yeah. I love this one for brushes when you're out and about because inevitably if you're plein air painting, there's a little bit of solvent in them. Yep. Rather than that getting gooey in your bag, you can just slide them in there, stand it up like that, and then rinse that out when you get home. And they're waterproof. So if stuff goes in there wet, it is not going to, unless it's sopping wet and you're putting half the ocean in there with it, it's not going to come out of the zippers. And they have all these crazy sizes from the little one. This fits most sketchbooks and pencils. This will fit most watercolor blocks and all the other things with it. I mean, you can take that, just that with all of your gear in it. I've had one of these and I've used it as a portfolio for bigger pieces that are mounted and they're on foam core with clear bags. This thing I have not been able to break with two or three different moves now. So, and I break all the straps on purses and everything else. Just ask LL Bean how many backpacks I've been through. They should never give a warranty if they don't expect Amy to turn it in. Not done that with this. So these are really inexpensive. They range from $2.88 for the little one. And these are not on sale right now. That's just the normal price. Up to that big mesh one is, with the handles, less than $10. So, and if you've ever been in the rain when you're trying to carry a pad of newsprint or pastels or artwork that you've just finished that you need to get somewhere that's not matted and framed, these are invaluable for that kind of a thing. So, those are the Jerry's mesh bags, mesh zippered bags. All right. And there's also one size in between, but we didn't have it in stock because they're so popular.
I will say every time they're a great add-on if you're
yes.
for the $45 free shipping
right.
or $2 below.
Right.
Get one of them.
Yes, exactly.
Won't regret it.
And every friend that you have will then want one when they see it. Let's do the brush easels and brush mats next. Get the. Okay. So, and all of us are, I've done it too, so don't be like Amy, be like how Amy says. We all carry brushes crammed in a bag and get there and find one's ruined because it mushed your brush off to the side, and that point, especially on natural hair brushes, never comes back. Rockwell brush easels are the perfect thing for that. Okay, so they make a short-handled, and they come in a variety of colors, so you don't have to stick with these colors. I just grabbed two. I love this color. This is my favorite, and the red is really pretty too, but I think I always pick the red. So, watercolor brushes just slide right in. And these are a little more snug than the colored pencil brushes, but that's what, or colored pencil holders, but that's what you want because you don't want these moving around and getting messed up. And this will work with any of your short handle brushes. So you can see that's four. There's still room for those. You can double them up with thinner ones or put thinner ones with thick ones. And then you've got more over here. So you can carry a whole ton of brushes. And then once that's closed, that's not coming open. They do make it so it is some serious hardcore hook and loop binding. Same as the colored pencils. That weird little thing ends up being a great little thing in that it push locks up like that. So you've got an easel for your brushes. And after a couple uses, this little spline on it will be used to being folded. At first when they're new, it takes a little bit, but you got that. So your brushes are right in there. So they've got it for the watercolor brushes, and then they've got it for your acrylic and oil brushes. So you do workshops, things like that. These are invaluable. Think of the amount of money that even on not the most top quality professional brushes, about how much money you spend on just average brushes. These are $21.99. It's darn cheap insurance to keep your brushes from getting damaged. If you figure that's maybe 2 or 3 brushes, right? So, and they're nice and durable. That can go in a bag. It doesn't matter if other stuff gets jammed in there. It's going to protect those brush tips. So that's one way to go for this. The old school way that I remember my grandmother carrying her brushes, she would have killed for these, I'm telling you. So we used to go to workshops. I would go with her when I was a little tiny kid, and she would use these bamboo mats. Make them in natural. There's black. They've got a little pocket here that you can put the brushes in. And all these do is roll then. Put all your brushes in. And then you roll it up. And then you're just going to carry them with the tips up, right? So, and it's got the little thing where you can hook that around. That's a less expensive way to go. If, you know, that is, you don't have a lot of brushes, you're just, you know, going to a few things here or there, or even just to keep it so that your animals don't get into your brushes in your studio at home. Or maybe you don't have like an actual studio. It's a good way of putting it in something, putting it in a container or a drawer or something without your brushes getting damaged. These are only $7.99 each. And you can put a lot of brushes in them. So it's, I mean, there's 8 in this. Look at how much more room there is to put brushes in. So again, inexpensive insurance. It's actually a pretty durable little mat. It looks very old school. So for brush storage, for, you know, brush put away in store or carry with you, there's those. And those are under that JL178S heading. Let's look at the, since we just did brush storage, let's look at the mezzo rack. Okay, so there's this. And it comes in this great little box. This is a, let's just put them all up here, because all this comes in this, which blows my mind. Okay, so all of these items come in this one little box. You can buy them separately by set. Okay, paint tubes. That puts a lot of paint tubes in there, and it's got these cool little cutouts where your tube just slides in. Michael Harding paint, I told you I would use you for something someday. See how that keeps them up? It keeps the oil from leaching out in a drawer. So this is one of them that you can get separately that just does paint tubes. This is a corner one if you want to put them together that does a whole bunch of small paint tubes. It does some giant paint tubes. And these aren't even, I mean, these cutouts will fit the giant like Soho acrylic, the big plastic tubes. And these are big oil tubes, but it'll fit the big fat plastic tubes. So just for hyperbole, then it's also got brushes. Deconstructing the set, Katie. You can't stop me.
Yep.
Put a lot of stuff in this. Then there's another one, because apparently you need more. I mean, this would be good. I could fill all these with paint, and I probably still have some more, but it's got the ability to, and as the tubes get used, it can still fit down in there. So this one set gives you all of them. It gives you, this is the number 1, where it's got tubes and brushes, the number 2, or number 3, which is the corner rack, and the number 2, which is all of your paint. That is $39.99. So you can already see, just with putting a few things in, there's still a ton more room, right? This is also great because it's wood. Okay, it's not a bunch of plastics. It's not a bunch of stuff that takes a whole lot of environmental yuck to make. It's simple, it's easy. You can take it back apart and put it back down in this, like if you're moving or something like that. So and the box for this thing is amazing. It's very durable. It would keep it if you needed to store that for a while too. So super simple design, super clean presentation, but it gives you a ton of storage. So that's Mezzo Art Paint and Brush Rack Set. And again, you can get them individually, but the best way to do it for the least amount of money is as a combination. All right, so now I'm giving you these with all the stuff in it. Oh, I'm sorry. You can just go put them wherever. And I like that it's a corner setup because everybody's got a corner that there's nothing that really works well in until there's that. All right. So, Eternity clamshell boxes. So, these come in all sorts of different sizes, and it's something where people are always, I've actually seen a couple of questions in the Jerry's group on Facebook, where people are asking about storage options for keeping paper artwork. So, putting it in cardboard is not a good idea because you will get foxing. Which means that acid in the cardboard is designed to be a container for shipping and quick portability only. It's not designed for anything to stay in long term. That's especially that you need to be archival. These Eternity clamshell boxes store a lot of flat paper artwork. They're made out of black book cloth. They're archival. Super freaking durable. Like with me pushing on it, I can't bend it in. So it's a great design where they can then stack these. They go from 8.5 inches by 11 inches all the way up to 24 by 32. And that's what size paper it will fit. It still has a little bit of wiggle room for the inside. So that's not, you would need to size up. This will hold documents and 8 by 10s. Okay. To show you how much, I mean, this is the 8.5 by 11, 12 by 16. Sorry. It's very dry here today and it was windy with leaves. 16 by 20. I put artwork from the show in this one. Now it's a clamshell, so it opens up like this. So it's got a hard outer edge top and bottom. And the cool thing is you can keep any of these things that you get. Some of them have silica little packets, right? Keep those because we'll show you something else you can put those in later. Okay, so there's a lot of artwork in here. I've got a thing here. I'm sorry, yeah. Color chart. Actually, for this is on pencils for the regular set. Watercolor cow. Landscape. 3 different prints that we did. Watercolor, more cows. Landscape. When we did the quick timed drawings at home, all of the drawings we did from that are in there. And more watercolor stuff. And I still had so much room left over. Put this on top so you can see. It's like a quarter of the way filled. Okay, so you can put a whole lot of paper items in there. Now, let's say you've got pastels or things that you want to kind of keep covered. You can use either, there's an acid-free tissue, and that's a big piece, and you can cut pieces to lay in between if you want to keep items from touching each other. You can also, if they're pastels, do glassine paper, tape it from the back So it's a little piece just at the top of an archival artist tape where it flips down over it like a hinge, okay, where it flips down so that it can't move around on your pastel. And then you can set the next one that's got that glassine on it, and the next one, and the next one. So this is a great way of keeping pastel works safe in between each other, okay? Or you can even tape your pastel to foam core, put the glassine over that. Just make sure the foam core fits in those boxes, okay? So, great way to keep lots of artwork. These are really nice. We use them as risers all the time, don't we, Katie?
All the time.
For short little me, when we're doing all those fun Zoom things, this is what you don't see under my computer to raise it up for me. So these are an inexpensive way of doing this. 1660. The 11 by 14 is $25.46. The 16 by 20 is $37.99. So very inexpensive insurance to keep all those drawings, and somebody wants to buy something, it's safe in one of these rather than crammed in a sketchbook, put between pieces of cardboard or foam core that somebody's dropped and got dented, or you spill your coffee on because they're in a stack on the end of your work table. Don't ask me how I know that happens. It happens. So invest in your artwork and in proper storage for the work that you produce.
I keep watercolor sheets in them under my couch.
I think that's awesome. I mean, that would even be a really good way to store, if you've got an old dusty house like mine, that'd be a great way to store watercolor blocks in between when you're pulling them out to use them, so that it is keeping them kind of hermetically.
Well, they don't get beat up. The corners don't get dinged and pulled stuff in and out. Like, it protects the paper too.
Yes. All right. Let's do the 3-drawer wood storage box, please. Now this one is a little grungy from being in my office for all these years, but this is we call it a pastel box. It's actually for any art storage. It works great for pencils. It works great for erasers, for all sorts of stuff. But in my office, it's a way for me to keep all of my pastels for working on different things. With the show, I don't do it as much, but when I used to do pretty much all the artwork for new products, I would have to have supplies to do it on new pastel paper we had, or do it on this or that. So over the years, I've collected a lot of different pastels. The silica gel packets that you get in anything, keep them. They can go in these little drawers, and it keeps your pastels from getting damp and then from getting gooey and not working. They come in shoes, they come in makeup, they come in bags. Those eternity boxes have great big ones. I mean, look, little half sticks can go in there. I've even got stomps and some of the blender sticks, and then little pieces of pastel that have just gotten too small to really keep elsewhere, that I've just kind of got the little scraps there. 3 drawers instead of, and this set was a set that we did that came in a box, and the box was half the thickness of this and maybe half the size of this, but took up a quarter of what this takes up, and then those 3 go right in there. So a lot of room saved by the storage box by having this instead of that container that those pastels came in. I mean, we looked at those other pastels a few minutes ago. Those are nice containers for shipping or for, keeping in for the time being. But you could put all of those in probably not even 2 drawers of this. So saves a lot of space. You could take all those little, blenders and everything. These are fantastic and super inexpensive, $34.99. So pencils, pens, you name it, any type of stick drawing implement can store very easily in these. And we do have, some, and we've looked at those and other ones. Unfortunately, all of them were out of stock. We have 4 and 5 drawer, are they?
3 and 4.
3 and
Okay,
4.
3 and 4 drawer, like chests that you can put pencils and things like that in. Unfortunately, all of them they're very popular. They were out of stock.
Those are brand new.
I think just hadn't come in yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to show them because then everybody would want them and then they couldn't get them and be sad. So we have this.
Coming soon, more drawers.
Yes. Yes, lots of drawers because that's cool. All right.
I love a good storage option, I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to let you put that over there when you're done with that too. Okay. So then the last thing we're going to show is something that we've had this item before, but it's the new updated version. It's the Creativo small and large art messenger bag. So I'm just going to lay this one down and we'll look at this one first, and we're going to put that one, that on. Here, I'll take that one. If you can hand me that, though, that's something that we can show that this works. So there's always, you know, rolls of paper as a student that you're carrying across campus, or even like if you were going to do plein air, tripod, or if you're a photographer, right? Even tripods with iPhones, right? Or if you're gonna, you know, be using a digital camera or something, or a pane to carry with everything else that you've got in your hands.
Yeah, pull that back around. You got two on this side.
Do I have two?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh, holy smokes. Well, so you could carry then an extra because this has another one. Maybe it's so if you've got something really fat, is what it is. There's extra buckles. So that hooks right to there, which is crazy. To carry it with you so you're not having to fumble with it or drop it or any of those things. Has cell phone pockets. Has, oh gosh.
There's so many pockets.
This does have, I liked the other one, and this is like going to be one of those, where did I put this or that? Because there's going to be so many pockets. Two big pockets that run the whole gamut in the back all the way down to the bottom. ID. Flap there. This comes all the way out. Buckles. This is what this buckles down. So this has two secure buckles for that. So it keeps out rain or snow or dust.
24 pockets.
This buckles 24. Jeez Louise. Brushes. This is a pocket, two pockets. Then there's, this would fit sketchbooks, big sketchbooks. Then it's got the zippered ones. It has a very deep gusset, actually, that's about that deep in there for putting even more large stuff. And then another with a hard, it's got a hard board. It's got like an MDF hardboard behind it. So you could put something with papers or things like that in this that it would snug up against, that it's not going to get bent even if you're carrying other things. This is like engineered to Amy damage specifications. So the small ones are $49.99. Adjustable. That's actually not bad with that. It's weighted well for that tripod. That can adjust so you can put it like over both shoulders. Let's look and see. Good God, you can carry a farm in this. Tina, a cow would fit in this. So
that one actually fits a drawing board, a light pad. Like we've shown
yes,
that one full.
This would absolutely fit a drawing board. I mean, that can fit some huge, this would be great for watercolorists. Holy smokes. If you went out, like, with a watercolor board that you could mount to a tripod, you would only have to carry, I mean, you could probably fit a bottle of water in somewhere. In here, there.
In one of the 27 pockets?
All of your brushes, long-handled brushes would fit in that with this closed shut. Good night. So if you ever, as an artist, are just sad and you want to run away from home, apparently they make a bag for that. So that is fantastic, and that's a pretty heavy denier nylon. So it's very durable. It's got good durable straps. Oh good, and look at how that's made, so it's a lot more friendly on the shoulders with the straps being on both sides as opposed to coming across where you get that unbalanced thing. Can carry that paper rolls or a tripod or
mailing tubes.
Good night. So if you ever wanted to feel like a pack mule at the Grand Canyon, these are the bags you should ask for Christmas. The large one's $79.99. Again, I don't know if they're going to go on sale for Christmas or not, but that's a pretty darn good deal as it is. With the sachet, I can't get over that backer board. That's fantastic. All right. I like it. I'm making my list. So I did not get to see these until today, so I'm excited about that. So again, all these storage things, JL178S. You can pull it up and kind of mix and match, pick or choose, or just find one thing that you really saw in there that you're like, hey, that's a great idea. I love it. Now the show list for everything is just the regular JL178, but it's a lot of things to scroll through. So it might be easier to fast forward through the show to one that you saw and find the different numbers for the gifts that you saw that you liked. And again, lots of these correspond with classes that we've done. So you're giving more than just a gift. You're actually giving somebody some lessons as well. So, and if you are, I would imagine you're not new to our show if you're watching this. If you are, though, we've got this really awesome Facebook group that's got, over 5,000 people in it now, right? Of Jerry's Live viewers. I want to say it was like 5.5 or 5.7 people in the Facebook Live group. That people post artwork, people bounce ideas off each other, people ask technical questions. You go to Facebook groups, you type in Jerry's Live, and you do have to answer the question, or you won't get... We won't even know that you're interested in it to want to be in it if that question doesn't come to the moderator so they can approve you. So it's a great way for people to ask questions. In that group, also, we do have the, what is it?
Almost 6,000.
Almost 6,000. So we have both of the documents, and on this show, underneath in the description for it, if you click on more, it's going to show you two different documents that we always have linked there. One is to all of our shows chronologically from the beginning of time, which was 4 years ago, to today. All of the shows you can watch. Now, some of those were on Facebook back in the day because we didn't do it on YouTube, but you don't have to have a Facebook account to watch those, okay? And there's even after parties that we did. The same with, there's a document that has it by the topic, okay? So if you only want to look at watercolor stuff because you don't care about the rest of it, you can binge watch watercolor stuff. There's drawing stuff. There's guest artists that have come on. There's Art of the Carolinas. There is everything that you can imagine. So either way you cut it, that is like, if you're just finding us now, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, because now you have a wealth of resources. 178 resources. Okay, so that's 178 shows to choose from. So, all right. So, I don't think we've got any questions, right? Because we pretty much have probably answered them.
There's a couple little ones, but
okay.
They may be better off since we've gone through so much to kind
of just all go back and, okay. All right, so next week is our last show of the year. Usually we're done at the last Tuesday in November, which would be today. But I decided my gift to you guys was going to be to have an artist, Miss Cakes, better known also as Emmy Klein, is going to be doing a new show on our Jerry's YouTube channel this next year. And she is amazing. There's a lot of artists I admire. There's a short list of alive artists that I admire. And ever since I've met Emmy and seen her work, I have just been her biggest fan. She is somebody that's, like, to me, gonna be somebody someday. She reminds me of some big name female artists that are out there now. And I want you guys to get in on the ground floor of appreciating her. So don't tell her I said that, because she's gonna be totally freaked out next week and then be scared. So she is a great portrait artist, and that's really her forte. And she went to an amazing school, the Ringling Brothers Illustration School, which is just another really cool thing that's amazing. But she can paint and paint and paint. So we're going to be doing, I think she's going to be doing like either Father Time or like the 2020 going out like absolutely destroyed portrait version of Father Time, which I think is fantastic. And that's what she'll be doing next week. She's going to be using Turner acrylic gouache, which is a medium she uses a lot, with some Da Vinci panels. So she is a great resource that you guys need to know. And I think her show is going to be called Shut Up and Paint, or that's something you guys were talking about. So that's going to be our Christmas gift to you, is a little bit of Shut Up and Paint to get you ready to really watch her new stuff this next year. Okay? So that'll be next Tuesday. That'll be our final show of the year. You guys take care. Have a very carefully safe Thanksgiving, please. We don't want anything ever to happen to any of you guys. We treasure you, and we have developed great friendships, especially with some of you guys over the last 4 years. And I want everybody to be safe and take a little time to do some art this week, and eat some good food. So we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.